Okay, hey guys, Dr. Gilmore here. Friday, and it is just after 5. Just finished feeding the fish. It's the 23rd of November, still on our Thanksgiving weekend, and I spent the afternoon working on a project that I've been wanting to work on for some time, but we keep getting rained out. And I have some other stuff to do later tonight too, like get the boat ready. We're going to be going out tomorrow out on the bay. Should be absolutely beautiful. The darling daughter Abby wants to go fishing. And you guys remember Twister from a previous video who had some issues, and he's coming along with us, so we should have a good time. And today, I plan to work on the Meta 7 website, and we need to add some items and make some changes and things, and so I'll be doing that as well. But today, one of the issues I wanted to work on was taking care of the dirty water situation we have in the koi pond. This is a situation that I created by getting my fingers into an ecosystem that was balanced perfectly, because I just didn't like some of the plants that were growing in the bog filter at the top. That's the big filter area in the top. So I decided to remove some of those plants, and that was a mistake because they were responsible for holding the soil in place and the silt and so forth that is produced. Anyway, so we end up with we've got cloudy water is what it turns out. I mean, it doesn't hurt the fish. These fish are really fine with it. It's just we don't get to enjoy the fish. So immediately replanted a number of those plants. Fortunately, we'd had a lot of rain, so they were water plants. They stayed just fine, out lying in the other side of the fence. So I just had to go over the fence, get the plants, bring them back in, and replant them. But unfortunately, it takes quite a bit of time for their root system to redo what it does. So I wanted to add a different way of allowing plants to participate in the cleaning of the water. And we had a secondary issue where the water bamboo that we had in one of the corners was pushing up one of the tiles. So I wanted to kind of work on some of these issues. So I'm going to try to see if I can't put some pictures up here. Okay, so here's a little picture of, I just cleaned up my little garden there. Now, these don't have to be this large. I wonder if there's a way I could do them smaller. I don't know. But here's, I pulled the plant out, and at this point, I've already, this was the bamboo that I want to move. This is the tile there at the very corner was the one that was being pushed up. So I had to remove it, and now here's a closer look, I think. But I used a whole container of construction adhesive to re-glue that, and I'm going to still need to do some work on the what might be called grout or whatever the material is that's used to separate those tiles. But that's glued back down with I used a whole tube of construction adhesive there. And then I built this. This is a PVC, that's 3-inch PVC that's basically just laying right on the edge there. And the idea is on those 4 little open spots to put the water bamboo in there and let them grow, but keep them trimmed so they'll be able to capture more of the silt and so forth that's coming through. And you can see the water is just really dark. It's so unfortunate. But I have not painted or glued anything. This is a very low pressure system, so I haven't added any paint or glue to it. But I spent a lot of time measuring and cutting, and spent a lot of time at our big box store getting the pieces. It wasn't very expensive to do. Here's another one. It gives you a better idea from the back. So basically what it is, way back there in the back, you can see there's a drain valve, and so I just tapped into the drain valve and ran a small pipe all the way up and around and then into this setup of the pipes. And then the 2 pipes in the end are designed to just drain off. So they'll just continue to spill the water out, and then the plants growing in the middle will, of course, they'll absorb nutrients and clean the water as well. And I've got one more, kind of gives you a different kind of way it looks like, how it's connected in and everything. So Everything's spaced out. If I get the seal of approval from the DW, which is about a 50-50 on these kind of things, she's rather particular. But then the next step would be to disassemble and glue everything together, and then, of course, then paint it so that it doesn't look like a giant eyesore. And then that this plant here, I would go ahead and cut these into 4 block-sized pieces, trim them down, and then put them in. So that's kind of the plan. I can't really put anything in that corner there because it's already done damage, so obviously it's not designed for that. But if this little plan works, then I'll be able to expand on it on other areas of the pond if I want. But I really just want to make the water clear. That's sort of my plan. So I think that ultimately I'd like to remove all of that water bamboo in the other corner as well, and then just have the regular bog filter back doing its job, and then I'd have a nice clean pond again. So anyway, so I'm gonna upload this, and then I'm gonna go live for just a little while and chat with you guys that want to chat. So this will be on first, and then I'll be back on, and we can talk about whatever you want to talk about. And then that's actually me stalling before I have to go to work on the website. All right, so see you shortly.